YouTube, what is up? It's AD here with US Squads. We hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're talking politics. We usually don't like to talk politics on my channel unless it's talking about gun control. In light of the new the recent Aurora shootings in Colorado, that tragedy that went down, there of course was going to be a spur of debate regarding gun control, that topic in general. And so I viewed a few videos online and I just have to address them because it's just kind of strange. Um, we'll talk about CNN. CNN is a big national network with USA Today, CNBC, and I noticed that these big networks, they usually they have they're anti-gun, in my opinion. The people they bring on, their conversations, these people nationally are usually anti-gun, and the sentiment kind of seeps through ever so slightly. Whereas my local news, when you live in like Texas, which is a pretty pro-gun state, the news is typically pro-gun or just slight overtones of pro-gun. They don't really bash, oh, we should get rid of all your guns, and that really doesn't work well in the news if you're local and your state is, very pro-gun, pro-choice. So let's talk about this guy. This guy is a film director, producer, writer, in his own right, a very successful person in the film industry. And they'll bring these people in on CNN and start talking about gun control and gun rights. And he right here, he gives this point of view, and I want you to listen to it for yourself and see what you think about it. And then I'll address it. So one sec, let's let him go off and do his thing.
The things that he said were so powerful, and yet when he brought his own children into it, when he said, my two daughters go to the movies, and what if it were them? Well, I guess if President Obama is watching right now, and I say this with all due respect, what if it were them? What if it were them last Thursday night? Would you stand at the microphone the next day and say, I feel your pain, and the existing gun laws, this is what he said, the existing laws are enough.
Okay, let's address that. There's a few points I could address, but I'm going to address the main point. President Obama's children, they go to movies, I'm sure. But they'll never be in that situation, and I'll tell you why. At any 2 points, there probably is at least 2 armed personnel, i.e. the Secret Service, that are tailing or nearby Obama's 2 children. And thus, this scenario is not even freaking possible. So let's give you a hypothetical situation. It's the night of the shooting, Aurora, Colorado. 2 of Obama's daughters are in that theater. The gunman comes from the backstage and starts firing upon the crowd. Well, the difference would be at least 2 or 3 armed personnel would address and counterattack that shooter. Not only are they armed, they're trained, and they're trained to acknowledge threats, and they're trained to protect. So the Obama girls may have been injured, may have been killed, but they would have had some level of protection against that evil person. And then I guarantee if that scenario was put into motion, that there would be less than 12 people, not 12, there would be less, if not, if that reduction wasn't even cut in half, there'd be less people that were killed that night. And in all, they might have had the back of the building secure so that guy couldn't even enter. So in all reality, there could be 0 casualties because the Secret Service would have addressed that maniac before they got into the building. That's the difference. That's the difference. That's what you got to think about. You can't put Obama in that position. He doesn't even have to worry about that. He's the President of the United States. He has armed protection and armed guards around him 24/7. His daughters do. His staff do. His wife does. That's the difference. Okay? I'll tell you what, my kids have a certain level of protection too. It just might be one armed little, armed dad, but at least they have a certain level of protection. When they're eating ice cream, you won't know it. I don't flaunt my weapon. I don't flaunt the fact that I have a weapon on me, but I am armed, and I am there to protect my family and myself. So let's go to video 2. Let's talk about this guy. This guy's pretty fun too. Let's talk about this guy coming up.